On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
Today, the President of the United States said Jimmy Kimmel will be next to go, followed by Jimmy Fallon. This after CBS got rid of Colbert, which I just showed you, who's a big Trump critic. This after Colbert had a bunch of other late-night hosts, and Anderson Cooper, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, showed up to support Colbert as he said that F you. Not a good look for a journalist. I get it for the late-night hosts. They all go after Trump. CBS, which is supposedly paying Trump over $10 million for a case that he says he has against 60 Minutes for editing the Kamala Harris interview, that I can't believe there is any chance CBS News would have lost. I have never heard of that before. Everybody edits interviews. And you can like the edit, you can not like the edit, but the idea that they would have lost before a judge or any jury, that they showed malicious disregard, and what is even the damage? He won the election. It doesn't make any sense. Unless you remember that they have a merger that they need Trump to approve. I mean, is this as obvious as it looks? Stephen A. Smith, with the keen eye of the common man, joins me now. It is good to see you, handsome. What do you make?
What's up, my brother?
What do you make of all this?
Good to see you, man.
What matters?
You know, it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. I mean, we have a president of the United States right now that, once again, what did I tell you before the election what my issue was with him? I said people are entitled to their own politics and policies, political desires, what have you, but he's petty. And the childishness definitely reigns. And because he's petty and he can be vindictive, it's going to be a problem. Because rather than focusing on the issues that we need to be focused on, we're focused on nonsense like this. So there's a tariff war going on. There are immigration issues with the border and beyond. There's an economy that you want to see flourish. There's things to address going on in the streets of America. There's things that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, and still is Israel and the Gaza Strip and what have you. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about the President of the United States going after late-night host. We're talking about the President of the United States engaging in a revenge tour. And it's really, really sad. He's not the only guilty one, because the reality is that no matter how much I love all of those late night hosts, and I've been guest on all of those shows, there's no doubt about that. There was definitely partisanship going on as folks aimed their eye in his direction. And he is certainly in pursuit of retribution. That is clearly the case. And how they decided to retort and respond to what he's had to say, I don't think is going to be helpful in any way, because he's the commander-in-chief at this particular moment in time. He is the one in power. And what Trump does, more so than any commander-in-chief we have ever seen in American history, at least to my limited knowledge, he doubles down. And when he goes for it, he goes for it. And he's not going to stop. The NFL situation with the Redskins, just the latest. That's a story that I covered, and I've talked about this on many, many occasions as a sports guy. In 2014, Donald Trump and I were on the phone, and he called me because he wanted to be an owner for the Buffalo Bills. The price tag was $1.4 billion. According to my sources, he had $1.1 billion at the time. And his exact words were, if them MFers get in my way and prevent me from being an owner in the NFL, I'm going to get all of them back. I'm going to run for president. Those were his exact words in 2014. And sure enough, he came down those escalators a year later, and the NFL and everybody has felt what they believe to be a nightmarish effect ever since. That is the situation that is going on, and it seems unrelenting at this moment in time.
What happens if, look, we know what the Washington Redskins, that's a culture war play. It's a distraction from Epstein. What I don't get is the Epstein fix seems pretty simple. If it were you or me, right, it'd be like, whatever we have, put it out right now. You know, just whatever it is. Just go get the boxes and just put them here, and anybody who wants them can go copy them, right? And what do you make of why they're not doing that? I don't believe that it's sinister, by the way. I don't know the explanation, but I don't think it's because Trump is a dead man if they release the stuff they have.
Well, it could be sinister and yet not involve him directly at the same time. It could be sinister from the standpoint that whereas he might not be personally incriminated, the people who support him, the people who pad his coffers, the people who take care of him per se or have taken care of him in the past are people he feels obliged to take care of. This is a guy, I mean, look at what's transpiring within the administration right now. I don't care if it's a Republican, if as a representative, a senator who happens to be Republican, one of the White House officials, or anybody in between. Don't you notice that everybody makes sure to preface every comment by praising him first? The greatness of Donald Trump. We sit at the altar of Donald Trump, commander-in-chief, our leader, and what have you. I have never, ever seen, and I've seen people loving Ronald Reagan for decades. I have never seen a president more fawned over in my life. I've never seen it. And we know why that is, because it's a requirement. Because if you like him and you speak of him in a praiseworthy fashion, then he is somebody that's inclined to see the lighter side or the better side of you or anybody else if you get along with him. So getting along with the president of the United States, especially somebody like Donald Trump, one could argue he reinvented quid pro quo. He is somebody, you know what, you scratch his back, he will not hesitate to scratch yours. People see that, they recognize that, and by ingratiating themselves to him and with him, it positions them to benefit exponentially from it. That's really what it comes down to. It's not a crime on his part. It's not a crime in most situations in terms of us looking out for the people that look out for us. So I'm not saying that to denigrate him in any way, but it is a reality that he lives in and people who want to be associated live in today more than they arguably ever have in their lifetime, because it is something he clearly requires.
I think the fealty can get him in trouble, though, because he doesn't wind up getting best counsel.
Sure.
I mean, Speaker Johnson running away and not having this vote. I don't even know that Congress has the legal authority to compel the executive to release documents like this, but ducking the vote is a horrible look for the administration and the presidency.
You're absolutely right, but I think one of the most important things to remember is that no matter what Speaker Johnson is running away from, he wasn't the one bloviating about the Epstein files. That was Pam Bondi.
Yep.
That was Dan Bongino. That was Kash Patel. These are people that are in the Trump administration that were bloviating about an Epstein file. An Epstein file. It wasn't just the Steve Bannons and the Candace Owens of the world and others. It was them.
Fair point.
And they had us all looking forward to it. And by the way, they didn't tell us it was something to look forward to because they were waiting to get it. They gave us the impression that it was already in their possession, that they had already seen it, and we were just waiting to see it ourselves. Maybe not Bongino, but certainly Kash Patel. He was on the record saying before he was named the head of the FBI, he was on the record saying the FBI has the Epstein files.
Look,
so
Vance,
why the hell haven't we seen it?
Vance played with the same thing. You know, it was going to be the payoff for Pizzagate, and here we are now. Stephen A., I got to jump. I appreciate you as always. Thank you very much for everything you're doing.
No problem.
You are the man.
No problem, my brother. See you soon.
Yes, yes. Lord willing. 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Life and death, human atrocity. And we cannot close our eyes to it anymore. We got to call it what it is and call out those who refuse to acknowledge the reality. Next. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.